Greeting, friends. My name is Brett Ballinger. I'm pastor to the people of Prince of Peace Lutheran Church in Marlton, New Jersey. Here is the gospel reading and sermon for Sunday, August 16th, 2020. The Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, the 15th chapter. Jesus left there and departed for the district of Tyre and Sidon. It happened that a Canaanite woman living in the area came and cried out to her, "Heir to the house of David, have pity on me. My daughter is horribly demon-possessed." Jesus gave her no word of response. The disciples came up and repeatedly said to him, "Please get rid of her. She keeps calling after us." Finally, Jesus turned to the woman and said, "My mission is only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." She then prostrated herself before him with the plea, "Help me, Rabbi." He answered, "It isn't right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." "True, Rabbi," she replied, "but even the dogs get to eat the scraps that fall from the table." Jesus then said in reply, "Woman, you have great faith. Your wish will come to pass." At that very moment, her daughter was healed. This is the good news of healing salvation. Glory and praise to our Savior, Jesus Christ. A Canaanite woman. What is a Canaanite woman? She is an indigenous woman, a woman whose ancestry has lived on that land for millennia. She is an outsider to that land with regard to who the dominant culture is at this time. Kind of like many indigenous peoples this day all over the world. Dominant cultures have come in and pushed them to the side. They continue to look down upon them and only give them the scraps from the table. Interestingly enough, in the Gospel of Matthew, back in chapter 1, when we get the genealogy of Jesus, his lineage, it links him directly with 3 Canaanite women, Rahab, Tamar, and Ruth. Jesus has Canaanite blood. It's very important to note that. She is a minority. And you know, minorities and those who are not part of the dominant group or part of the dominant group with power or the group with power are often silenced, ignored, and pushed aside. We experience that here in our country, countries all around the world, but we definitely experience it. And then there's this thing I hear told to me very often, shared to me by women who tell this story again and again in some version. You know, they go to this hardware store to pick up something, and the men treat her like she doesn't know what she's talking about, or have to mansplain to her when in fact she knows exactly what she's talking about. And people make up stories. Or a story of another woman I know calling to try to get assistance from someone. And the calls go unanswered. Until a man calls on her behalf. And then suddenly people jump to it. What is that? This age-old thing that still continues to happen how women have endured again and again amidst their pleas for help, their asks for assistance, or just being heard, are ignored and not listened to. We see it in today's gospel. We see it when people, or men, find their behavior annoying. It's interrupting their day or what they're about. We kind of see that with the disciples. Jesus is moving along and they're annoyed by this Canaanite woman who keeps being persistent. They want her just to go away. They want her to shut up. I remember my home pastor growing up, Pastor Miller, said that life and ministry and God's grace is about interruption. Kind of like my dog out here, whatever he's being interrupted about. It's about interruption. That at interruption lies people's intercessions, their concerns, lies intersection. At interruption lies intersection. When someone interrupts, it can often be a time when their deep need can intersect with you or another, and grace can come. This is exactly what happens in the story here in the gospel, right? Just like those parables that we've heard. Again, here the gospel has a moment that makes you go, Actually, many moments that make you go, Kind of like the traits of a parable. Remember, there are those moments that kind of turn it on head, that normal conventional thinking, and makes you kind of, wonder, what's the message here in the turning, in the twist of the story? And so here, part of the twist is the woman's persistence. Her coming again and again. And you see that it's not for whom you think. It's just for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So Jesus says initially. But no, the twist is no, it's not. And Martin Luther, in his reflection about this story, says something very similar. One of the twists is the catch, how the woman catches Jesus in grace. Let me read for you the quote from Luther. So she catches Christ, the Lord, in his own words, and with that wins not only the right of a dog, but also that of the children. Now then, where will he go, our dear Jesus? He let himself be made captive and must comply. Be sure of this, that what he most deeply desires is this. By such tenacity and unflinching the faith, the Lord is taken captive and pressed to answer, O woman, you cling firmly to the hope that I will help you, and don't let go of me. Isn't that amazing? That here Jesus allows himself to be held captive. That this woman holds him and she has her unflinching faith. This tenacity of faith that I need help. And she's gripping firmly to the hope that Jesus will indeed help her. She is determined. She is not resigned, but resolute. That is the faith that God inspires in us. To allow God's self to be captured by our faith, by our resoluteness, by our determination. It's not a sitting on our laurels kind of faith. God, I need you to do this for me. Here's my list. And then wait. It's not that kind of faith. It's a faith of tenacity. It's a faith of persistence. It's a faith of continuous action. She continues to follow them and to holler after them, right? It's a faith that's persistent even in the face of being ignored. It's a faith that's persistent even when others may call you annoying and call you other names. It's a faith that's persistent with humility by we see her kneeling in front of them. It's a faith that's persistent with respect as she uses the title Rabbi for Jesus. It's not a self-righteous or self-indulgent, I am owed this. But it's a deeply humble yet persistent faith of action, continuing to move forward again and again. And you see that Jesus allows himself to be captured so that grace may be given. And in this, we see at this point, Jesus' interaction with the foreigner, the minority, the woman, who normally in society had no place. So she had all these things against her. And Jesus allows himself to be captured by her. And there, so that she may demonstrate, show her faith that God has given her. See, Jesus has given her this faith. And now, her wish, her deep wish, her deepest desire is brought to bear. She doesn't ask for her daughter to be healed, she just asks for mercy. And that's how the mercy was granted, through healing. Mercy comes in all kinds of ways. But aren't we thankful that at this point, and from this point on in the gospel, we hear Jesus clearly now stepping out and telling the message to everyone and healing others, all the people. This is a turning point, a teaching point for his disciples, that this is what it's about. It's allowing ourselves to be captured by those who we would want to have nothing to do with, and to give grace, and to give life, and support, and help, and mercy there. And then we see Jesus doing this openly throughout the rest of the gospel. This is the point of this story. It is filled with grace, a teaching point for his disciples, a teaching point for us, a reminder that we should not allow others' cries for help fall on deaf ears, that we should not find them annoying, but to greet them, to allow ourselves to be captured, and to offer mercy. Let's pray. Loving God, you see beyond our diverse races and creeds to the value of each individual. Take from our hearts and minds the pride and prejudice that clouds our judgments and degrades our capacity to love others. Assist us to willingly and ably participate in the salvation which you have released through Christ Jesus for every creed, class, and race on earth. And to you be all praise and glory, now and forever. Amen. May the God of all peace bless you and keep you, now and forever. Amen.